Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. This is your host, Dr. Norbert, coming to you from the streets of Manhattan.
Oh, that's cool. That's actually true, though. Is that the way you're from?
Yeah, well, not Manhattan, but in the New York City area, yes.
Okay, cool, nice. The tri-state area, is that a thing that Americans say?
That's much bigger than where I'm talking about. I'm just talking about Yonkers, just above the Bronx.
Yeah, nice. All right. Well, yes, this is Jamie. Hello. I'm coming from London, I guess. If there was like a street level kind of, team of superheroes in the UK, they probably would be based in London, I think.
Isn't there none?
That's how it works.
No? There's no Moon Knight?
I think so. There is a dude who he runs around building tops in Brixton dressed as Spider-Man. Yeah, that's a thing. Don't think he fights crime, but he does cosplay and run along buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, you know about that?
I'm sure that's really great for you. But we're here to talk about the Defenders Affiliation Pack. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Should we take a moment to just talk about what these affiliation packs are and what they might mean for the game overall?
Yeah, we should. It's quite exciting, actually.
I agree.
You think?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. I think that this is kind of a nice... these are quite old characters, some of them. Wait, all of them? Yeah,
all of them.
They're old, but they've all been spruced up for this box as well. That's worth mentioning. These are old characters that I would argue that a lot of people come to the game wanting to play. Right, I think there's a lot of people that go, "Oh, cool, a Marvel game," and they go, "Wait a minute, Daredevil's in it, and Doctor Strange is in it. That's pretty cool." So it's cool that these guys get an affiliation pack, and this is a new way to kind of to buy these characters. A lot of these characters are kind of hard to find stock for nowadays. AMG have kind of answered that question of why can't I buy the stuff I want with these are the packs that are going to come out. They're going to start repackaging characters, putting them into one box. I'm pretty sure it works out cheaper that way as well, so that's cool. And it means that you can just be like, I want to play Defenders, and then buy one box and you're basically halfway there.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, is that you can just instantly get everything you need straight away without hunting around for it. And so people just got to be a little patient. They're talking about the reprints and why isn't this model out, why isn't that model out? They're doing this for the betterment of the game, and it's going to take some time rather than just printing new separate boxes. They're putting it into the affiliation packs or even the starter boxes in some cases coming in the fourth quarter of this year. I think fourth quarter of this year.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah, I mean, we'll have whole episodes about that. There is a differentiation. That's a big word. They're different. So these are affiliation packs. They're basically packs of characters, and you still need the core box, which comes with the rulers and the tokens and the dice and stuff. You still need the core box, and then if you want to branch into Defenders, you buy this box. And the starter sets, which are coming out, like you said, later in the year, next year, they come with rulers and dice and stuff. So I would say, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably already own some stuff. I would assume you probably already own the core box because you're looking how to play the game. But when those starter sets come out, that will be what you're recommending to your friends. Hey, I want you to play this game with me. It's cheaper to get into now. You can just buy the X-Men starter set and you have everything you need to start playing. So these aren't that. These don't come with rulers and dice, but they do come with a ton of characters, which a half a roster is in this one. So.
And character cards and tactics cards. So yes. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing is we're picking Defenders because this one should be coming out in July, which is more or less when we're recording this. There are a few already out, and there'll be a few more after this. So we'll see how many we get through before new releases start coming out and kind of taking over our schedule. But for the time being, we picked Defenders. Plus, it's also just a cool box. Speaking of cool boxes, this is CP219. CP219. I know
that's a big number.
It's a surprise. It's a surprising number.
I couldn't believe this one would be 219. I was for sure this was going to be 220. But here we are. But 5 characters, 5 characters, 219 is a big number for 5 characters. That makes sense,
Yeah, it does. I know the internet was disappointed when they heard it was only 219, but I think 220 should be deserved. There used to be an XJ220 Jaguar car that was a really big deal back in the day.
All right.
Yeah, and so maybe they didn't want to confuse people between the Jaguar card and this box of Defenders.
That's probably it. Yeah, that's probably it. We should caveat this that these episodes are made for new players, so there's a possibility that people are listening to this episode for the first time, and this joke is coming from I don't give a flying damn about box numbers in MCP. I think they're pointless, but everybody seems to like that we argue about it, so we're carrying on the joke. My plan was to be, once we got to this box, I would tell you, let's stop making that joke, and then I told some people that, and they said, no, don't. It's the funniest part of the podcast. So
really?
apparently, so we'll leave it in now. So yeah, there you go. CP219.
Okay. It's better that we don't talk about the Pets channel because there's been a spate of deaths in the Pets channel.
Oh, yeah. I gave my condolences in there. There's been a lot of people sharing pets that they recently put down in the Pets channel.
Like 4 of them.
Yeah, which I take no comfort in, which might surprise you, but listen, I'm pretty indifferent to pets, but I don't want them to die.
See,
so
I thought this is why you didn't like the Pets channel, because you knew this was an inevitable part of pets' lives and you didn't want to be part of it. No?
Sad. That is sad. Yeah.
It is sad, but it's life. It's life. So
this goes out to all the pets out there. Yeah. Is there a pet in this box? Is that Ghost Hound card in here?
Possibly. There's kind of like a little mascot type person thing. We'll come to, but that'll be next episode. This episode,
okay. Sorry,
that's okay. This episode, so the Defenders pack comes with Daredevil, Doctor Strange, both of which are leaders of the affiliation. Mm-hmm. So we're going to cover them first. Next episode will be Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Wong plus their cards. So stay tuned for that at that point. But let us get into the excitement. I mean, who doesn't love Daredevil these days with the resurgent Netflix TV show?
Yeah. Well, so the original Netflix show. Probably, brought him to the forefront. I think he's probably a bit of a niche character before then. Mm-hmm. And people love that show. That was great. And then it's just come back out on Disney Plus, right? Kind of the sequel series.
Yep.
And season 1 ends, not really a spoiler, but basically setting up, his Defenders that are going to come at some point. We're going to get the Defenders back again. There is a Defenders TV show too. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see it, yes, but yes, it was a Netflix one. Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot. People don't like it. That's another one of my weird takes where I like stuff that everyone hates. I like X-Men Last Stand, I like Eternals, and I like the Defenders TV show.
Ooh, you like Eternals? Okay.
Don't get me started. I love Eternals. We'll do a whole episode about that. I think Eternals is amazing. Yes, so he teams up with Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Jessica Jones, who are yet to see in the game, which is a shame. But yes, Daredevil is a lot of people's favorite Marvel character because he's pretty cool. I also really like the Ben Affleck film. I think that gets more hate than it deserves.
Yeah, it was okay. Elektra's cool too, so
Elektra's cool. Bullseye's cool.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about Daredevil, and then we're going to talk about Doctor Strange, and we're talking about them not only as characters, but as a point of view from the fact that they're leaders. And keep in mind that these guys have both been juiced up recently, particularly Doctor Strange. So it's an exciting new time for Defenders, which is I think another reason why they're popular at the moment.
Yeah, we're starting to see exactly what AMG are saying when, they want these boxes to mark, like there are artists that are doing, they're going over the characters that are going to be put in these boxes. So this box is a perfect example of that because it's 2 leaders that both got massive, revamps, buffs, improvements from their original box. So, if you already own these characters, bear that in mind that the cards that came in their individual boxes are outdated now. They want these new fancy cards.
Yeah. Now, I love Daredevil. Spoilers, he's one of the few characters that is kind of not done so much by AMG anymore, where he actually changes superpowers on both sides of his card. And they are super cool, both the way he works on both sides. It's just really so flavorful on top of everything. So let's get to it. Daredevil is known as Matt Murdock, of course, and he is on a small base, 35 millimeters. He is a 4 threat. His stats are 4 physical, 3 energy, 3 mystic. And he's got 5 hit points on his healthy side, 6 on his backside, which is pretty cool because in the Netflix films you see as he gets beaten up, he gets more and more determined, which I love.
Yeah.
He's size 2, and excitingly, he moves long, which is so awesome.
Yeah, with Wallcrawler. I know we're supposed to get to that bit later.
Yeah, that's all right. That's a good point.
A long move with Wallcrawler is great. He can basically get where he wants. He's super fast, can climb all over walls. He feels like Daredevil on the table.
He certainly does. That's a great way of putting it. Love it. So stats I think is perfectly fine for 4 threats. Emphasizing the physical, which you'd expect for a street fighter like this guy. Interesting about the hit points. Do you think there's any philosophy at AMG about when they put the lower health on the front side versus the back side?
I think you nailed it. I think it's for characters that get more determined, more angry. Like that. I think you're right. Well, I say that Bishop goes down. And his whole thing is that the more he gets beat up, the more juice he has. So I don't know. I'm sure there's some reasoning to it. But I think in this case, you're right. Daredevil, he gets, he gets beat up and he keeps standing up.
Okay. Oh, I like that. All right. So let's get to his attacks. So he's got 3 of them, all physical. The first one is called a strike. It is range 2. 5 dice. It doesn't cost anything. And is his builder. It gains power equal to the damage dealt. He's got a wild stun on the attack, which the stun gets put on after the attack is resolved. So very solid. Love it.
Standard. Classic.
Classic. Yeah, classic. Now, this is the fun one. He's got a baton hook. It is range 4, only 4 dice, doesn't cost anything. But this attack ignores line of sight and stealth, and the defending character does not benefit from cover.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, especially like on on scoundrels, this is a fantastic attack. Because that 4 dice suddenly becomes more pertinent when you don't get all these little bonuses. And then on a hit trigger, remember hits is 2 sides of the dice, so it happens more frequently than, like, say, a wild. If he gets the hit trigger, he can pull. After the attack is resolved, if the character is size 2 or less, it can be pushed towards this character short. And that's why I love this so much, because it feels just like in the films and things when he's
like yeeting people over towards him.
Yeah. And the actor does it so well, because you see him throw the thing and it wraps around the person's leg or whatever, and he just yanks it with like real anger, and the guy goes flying towards him. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really cool. This is the attack I always think of when I see Daredevil on the table, mostly because it keeps catching me out. Because ignoring line of sight, ignoring stealth, and you don't get cover. Like, there's so many things of like, well, I guess because, I think, tell me what you think of this novel, but I think that all that stuff is there because Daredevil's blind and he doesn't care that he can't see you. He can hear you. He can hear your heartbeat. So he knows exactly where you are. He doesn't care that you've got stealth.
I mean, it's perfect. I mean, the flavor is just oozing flavor.
It's really cool. And also, I think, a bit more flavor. So they recently changed Nightcrawler's card so that he now gets the keyword stealth when he's near a building. So he's like hiding, right? Which works perfectly for this, because Daredevil, even if you're hiding in a corner of like a dark, alleyway, he can still hear you.
Yes.
So he knows where you are. But it doesn't work on Storm. And Storm has stealth because she is Master of Storms or something? Some sort of stormy thing. Yeah. So she's hiding in like a cloud or like a hurricane or something, which makes perfect sense because he can't hear you.
He can't hear it. Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. I don't know if that's intentional, but I think they've nailed it. I hope they don't change that. Similarly to Cassandra Nova, she has telepathic cloak, which is not stealth, but it's the same rules as stealth. She's
messing with his mind, basically.
So really cool. I hope that's intentional because, it's great. So, baton hook is awesome, right?
Yeah. Now, here's the one that is so juicy if you can pull it off, because it doesn't happen terribly often because it's expensive. His spender is called Devil's Deliverance. It's area 2 attack, which is cool already. 6 dice, very juicy, but does cost 5 power. That's the problem. Now, what's exciting about this one is this attack adds 1 die to each of its attack rolls for each non-dazed enemy character within 2 of this character when the attack was chosen. And after each attack is resolved, the target character is pushed away from this character short. So he wants to basically just dive into the middle, just like on the TV shows, dive in the middle of all the goons and just start beating them up.
I see this as him being in the middle of a corridor. Yes, they love a corridor fight in that show, right? And he's like 8v1. He loves it. I think that's what this is. I always imagined like he's found a corridor somewhere and he's just beating up a bunch of people.
Yeah. So, even if there's only 1 character, though, it's not a 6-die attack. It becomes a 7-die attack. But then, even 2, then I was an 8-die attack. 3 people is pretty, I'd say, on the upper limit of how many people you're going to catch with this thing. And that's 9 dice.
It's huge. And obviously, with his long move, he can usually get to exactly the right point he wants to be in. So if you see a gaggle of enemies, you can get into the middle of them, and it's guaranteed push. That's the big point. Like,
sizeless.
Sizeless. Yeah, completely guaranteed sizeless push. So forget the damage that this attack might do. That's amazing. You're paying 5 to push everyone within 2 away. It's great. I mean, wait until the end of a round to run in somewhere and do this. We'll almost definitely score you a VP, right? Because you're just going to get that secure that they're all stood on.
Yeah. If that wasn't enough, let's talk about his leadership, which is called Marvel Knights. Once per turn, an allied character may reroll a number of its attack dice equal to the number of enemy characters within 2 of itself. So for that 9-die attack, I say on the upside, you're also rerolling 3 of those dice, which means you're not going to be standing up very long.
I find a lot of people are happy to, when they're playing with Daredevil's leadership, they're happy to just move once and then do Devil's Deliverance. Because this leadership's so good. And the power of it, because it's once per turn, you have to choose which attack it's going to happen on, but you can wait until all the results are down, right? You get to your modified dice step to be like, okay, well, if I roll a bunch of dice here, I might just daze you. So that's really cool. You get to choose the timing of it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And people need to be careful about that because it does say once per turn. So it only happens one of those attacks in the area gets to reroll, as you mentioned. Okay, I'm going to skip his reactive superpower for now because that's the one that just changes on the backside. And let's just finish off his innate ones. He's also got radar sense, which is when defending against physical or energy attacks, this character adds blanks to the defense roll as successes. So we've seen this before. The notable thing about this is there's no size restriction.
No range. Yeah.
Sorry, not size. Range restriction.
Yeah. So it makes his 5 health isn't much for a 4th threat on the front side, but it makes that stretch out a lot longer, right? Because he's blocking really well.
Yeah. So yeah, let us go then to Man Without Fear. This is his reactive superpower, costs 2. It says, after an attack targeting this character is resolved, this character may use this superpower. This character advances towards the attacker's short. Then, if the attacker is within 2, this character may make a strike attacking it. So it's great. Basically, as you get started with this guy, if he has ability to hit you back, essentially, and all those special rules and stuff still, happen, right? So, like, you could do the reroll on this attack because it's
the leadership,
the leadership, yeah. Isn't that correct?
Yes, because it's once per turn, so it'll be on your opponent's turn. So suddenly that 5 dice strike that you're doing is actually with like a reroll or 2, depending on where you are. And also because you get to move with this, you can move to a location where you have more enemies around you to get more rerolls. So it's perfectly synergistic with the leadership.
Yeah. So you have to do the attacker that hit you, but as you mentioned, you can usually get to that person because it's range 2 plus the short move. So it's essentially like 2 range 2s, which is I think about a range 4. So
maybe a little under, yeah. But it's a long way. Yeah, It definitely discourages people from hitting Daredevil, which is great.
Yeah. Okay, but what's fun?
Sorry, quickly, to mention, if you play cards like Sacrifice, you could sacrifice onto Daredevil. So they're trying to not hit Daredevil, they're trying to hit his friend. And you could sacrifice onto Daredevil, and then he can do this to like do a surprise counterattack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your opponent didn't expect it.
Okay, when he's injured, that power goes away though, as instead an active superpower is replaced. It's replaced with, and it is called Devil of Hell's Kitchen. It also costs 2 power. This character may perform an attack with a cost of 0 after the attack is resolved. If the attack roll contains any skull results, this character suffers a damage. This superpower can only be used once per turn. So basically, he gets to do 3 attacks if he wanted to.
On his injured side, yeah.
Yep. And it could be the baton hook, which means he could pull you, and he can ignore your cover and all that jazz, or it could be just the strike. So, and that's important because one is range 4 and the other is range 2. So the point is you can pretty much always get this one off if you want to spend the power to do it.
Yeah, 2 power for a free attack is great, right?
Yeah.
Especially with that leadership, because it could be quite a lethal attack if that ends up being the one you use the rerolls on.
Yeah. So he's let's take a moment to think about him. He's survivable to a degree, but he also hits quite hard, and he has a leadership that makes him and his friends hit hard. And then you don't want to attack him, especially on his injured side. I just find that he's
on his healthy side is where he gets the attack back. That's the scary side.
Yeah. Well, in a sense, I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. I think the important thing is you have to, as an opponent, have to switch your thinking about how to deal with him when he flips, which I don't always do because I forget he works differently.
Yeah, I always get it the other way around because I'm more scared of getting hit on my turn. So I think that he gets scarier. But yeah, it's just a different flavor of scary, right? It means that on his injured side, his turns are scarier because he's attacking 3 times. Yeah. And on the healthy side, your turns are scarier because he might hit you back.
Yeah. So it's just, I think this is one of the most straightforward ways to play MCP, but also has a lot of tricks to it. And so if you're looking to play a, or more brawly type of game of MCP, you can't go wrong with Daredevil's Defender's leadership.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a load of, crowd favorites in the affiliation list, right? We've got Luke Cage, a lot of people love, Iron Fist, a lot of people love, Doctor Strange is here, Hulk's a Defender. Who else is a Defender? Let's get the list up. There's a ton.
Sure.
They're like Avengers Light. It's like nearly everyone's a Defender. Yeah,
that is true. There are a ton. Let's see. Avengers has 38 characters. Defenders has 29.
29. That's a lot.
Yeah, look at them all.
Yeah, look at that. Ghost Rider, he's a fan favorite. Moon Knight, people love him. Spider-Man. That's which Spider-Man is that?
Corbox. Corbox Spider-Man.
Maybe ignore I said that. Don't worry. Wolverine. you know?
Yeah.
Some great fan favorites in it. I can imagine a lot of people playing this list for the first time.
Yeah. So what do you find difficult about playing against him? Or how do you take them down? What do you try to do?
I like playing MCP wide, which means lots of models, and I keep going into defenders and regretting that I'm so wide, because they bring like Daredevil, who I said before, you don't mind moving him once to get him in the perfect position for those rerolls, because especially Daredevil, his spender, adds Devil's Deliverance, adds dice when there's more people around him, and then the leadership is better when there's more people around him. And then I find that people bring like Iron Fist, who doesn't mind getting in the middle of things. Shang-Chi is in there. Amazing Spider-Man, who has a web swing, so he comes in and then does a massive attack. So I just find it's terrifying, because at any point they can just turn one of their attacks into a really big attack by doing all these rerolls. So yeah, it's quite relentless. And Daredevil himself is quite scary to play against, because of the reaction. You have to really think while you're playing against him. And then sometimes you'll be like, I'm just going to take this guy off the board, and he's counting blanks. So it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Who do you like with him when you see Daredevil rosters out there? What characters from the Defenders list here do you see quite often?
I really like Amazing Spider-Man. I see him quite often.
With Amazing Spider-Man? Oh.
Yeah, because the web swing, Amazing Spider-Man pays 2 to web swing to exactly where he wants to be, surrounded by people, and then does one big attack. And then he's got really good triggers, so he's more likely to get those triggers off. I really like that. And obviously, everyone in this box, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, they're just fantastic brawlers, right? We'll get onto them next episode. Yep. So you see them all the time. They're really popular defenders.
Shang-Chi is affiliated, which is bonkers. Namor, Immortal Hulk, and Normal Hulk. These are all fan favorites, and they're all included here. Punisher is a defender.
Yeah, fan favorite. Not much love for him in MCP at the moment, but he's a defender.
Yeah. So then there's lots of hidden gems in here as well for characters that you wouldn't expect to be defenders, like Man-Thing, but there you are. He is.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Cool. Any other thoughts about playing? Oh, Mystic is his problem. Like if he gets put up against Mystic attacks, he's in sad shape because his radar sense doesn't work.
Yeah, for sure. It's that is definitely his weakness. Also, terrain throws, right? Mm-hmm. He can't count blanks on terrain throws, so you can throw terrain at him. Yeah. Which I always thought was funny. Surely he can hear a car hurling through the air towards him. Right? Did he hear that? That's probably his weaknesses. I think you want to play Daredevil a little safely. Would you agree with that? At least to keep the leadership active for a bit longer.
Absolutely. Yeah. He is still quite vulnerable. He doesn't have a ton of hit points.
And he's fine to just come in late and do a massive attack with his leadership, right? If he spends the game hanging back for a while, generating power, and then coming in and just having a great turn, that's pretty good. And also on his injured side, you can assume that he's going to flip to his injured side with a bunch of power. If he has 7 power, a great activation for him is moving to the middle of a bunch of enemies, paying 2 for Devil of Hell's Kitchen and making a baton hook, and then hopefully pulling someone in to that brawl, and then just going bang, 5 power, Devil's Deliverance, and I'm going to hit all of you for like 6, probably like 8, 9 dice, right? And one of them's going to have like 3 or 4 rerolls. Yeah. So that happens to me a lot, and it can really turn the tide of a game.
Yeah, totally. That is the ideal situation, and something you should try to engineer if you're looking to play him.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Shall we do Doctor Strange?
Yeah, speaking of mystic attacks, here he is, Mr. Mystic.
Now, interestingly, he has changed twice since he's been released. He's one of the oldest characters in the game now, and I think they might have finally nailed him. This is really exciting about the changes that are on his card. So, shall we get into it?
Let's do it. Okay,
Doctor Strange is, of course, known as Stephen Vincent Strange, and he is on a medium-sized base, the 50mm one. He's a 5-threat leader, and his stats are 3 physical, 4 energy, 4 mystic defense. He's got 6 hit points on his front side, 7 on his back side, and he's size 2 moving medium. He's also affiliated with Convocation and Midnight Suns, but we're going to leave that aside for the moment. Just think about him in Defenders. Stats. Well, he's a wizard, right? So you kind of would expect this.
Yes, the low physical, and then having everything else, which is kind of what wizards tend to have in this. They don't like being punched in the face, but they are pretty good at everything else.
I'm overlook the fact that Daredevil is actually affiliated with Web Warriors too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. Do you ever
That's
see
crazy.
him though?
I haven't seen that once.
Yeah, me neither.
He is not playing their game plan. I mean, hey, we've got a Web Warriors box coming out this year. Maybe that'll change things. Maybe they want like a brawly, fighty team and Daredevil can fit in there. That'd be fun.
Yeah. He doesn't play keep away like they do, so maybe that's why you don't see him so much.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for the sidetrack. But yeah, so yeah, Strange is pretty standard but 4 energy defense is really good in today's game, where that's the weakest defense typically.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hesitant to talk more about the stats because this guy has a lot of text on his card, which we need to go into.
All right, let's do it. You're absolutely right about that. Now he's a 5 threat character and a leader, so there's you're investing a lot in him. Let's see if he's worth it. He's got 2 attacks. One is an energy attack called Bolts of Bedevilment, and they are bedeviling. Oh God Almighty, they're so annoying.
Yeah.
They're range 4, 5 dice, doesn't cost anything. It's his builder, so he gets power equal to the damage dealt. But after the attack is resolved, if it's done damage, this character may push the target character short. Again, any direction, which is the annoying part, and also any side. So another Sentinel nerf as usual.
Oh God, I didn't realize it was that good. Yeah, range 4. Any direction push means you can completely disengage someone, right?
Yes.
Hit them at range 4 and send them away, or you can kidnap them, bring them towards your team. Yeah, that's horrible. One
of the fun things they added to this attack is that on a shield, you get a pierce. So you can change one of the defender's dice into a blank. So it's only, so that'd be 1 die face out of 8. So it doesn't come up as often, but certainly is nice. Just the same as the wild, honestly, but it's just more flavorful this way.
Yeah. And also, it helps the if this attack dealt damage trigger on the push. So the pierce makes it a little easier for you to deal damage.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, this isn't a damage dealing attack. It's only 5 dice. You're not going to be, hurting people too much with this. This is all about displacement, I think.
Let me skip down to an 8 superpower that's related to this pierce, which is the Shield of the Seraphim. Whenever this character rolls dice, after the effect is resolved, it gains a power if it rolled at least 1 shield. So you get like double duty out of these shields on the bolts. You get the the pierce, plus you get an extra power regardless.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Worth mentioning the timing on that as well, because I see a lot of people getting it wrong. After the effect is resolved, so if Doctor Strange is being attacked and rolls a shield, at the end of the attack, he gains a power for that, but not if he's dazed or KO'd from the attack. Because after the attack's resolved, he's then dazed, and you can't gain power when you're dazed. So remember that. If the attack knocks him out, you don't get the power.
Yep. And then the other part of that fun sentence is whenever this character rolls dice, which is so liberating. That means dodge rolls. That means when he's rolling for paying to flip something. That's when he's trying to roll a scroll roll when he picks up a scroll. Anytime he rolls the dice, he gets potentially an extra power.
Yeah, really cool. It ends up, over the course of a game, you get a ton of power from this. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Cool. His second attack is Mystic. It's called the Crimson Bands of Sidorak. Also,
do you know what this is?
No, tell me.
God, Discord's going to correct me. But I think it's when in Infinity War, when he wraps up Thanos with all those whips.
Oh, yeah.
He like multiplies himself.
Yeah.
And then it hits him with like 100 of those rope, like magic rope. I think those are the Crimson Bands of Sidorak.
Ooh.
Discord's going to tell me I'm wrong, and I look forward to reading it.
Did it work on Thanos?
It lasted like half a second, so not really. It looked really cool, and I think Thanos just like threw him out of
it. Okay. This attack is range 3, 6 dice, costs 4 though. And after the attack is resolved, the target character gains a stagger special condition. God.
Big.
It just happens. Yeah. Huge. Also, if he gets a crit wild and hit, he gets a trigger called Mystic Binding. After the attack is resolved, instead of inflicting the stagger, if the target doesn't already have an activated token, it gains an activated token, which happens more often than you think. Yeah. I mean, 6 dice, you're looking for... I mean, it's not the most... I wonder... Oh, Jarvis would probably tell us if we were prepared. We could have Jarvis tell us the percentage chance of that without anything added to the 6 dice. Crits and all that kind of... So, because like if you get a crit, that means you must have rolled another die. So that's like 7 dice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh God, I'm not good at dice. I don't like dice maths. I'm trying to rush it in the background.
No, it's not going to work. It takes a little time to work out the Jarvis maths. But somebody will tell us, but it happens more often than you think. I don't know the exact percentage. But both of these attacks are amazing. I mean, they're really good, and keeps him at distance, which is, I think, where he wants to be.
Yes, 27% of the time on this attack. That is more than you think.
Yeah,
for a 3 dice trigger, and that's horrific. It's you're activating someone. It's crazy. That's like game winning.
Yeah,
if you're doing the right person.
Oh, it's so brutal. Yeah, and a stagger is nothing to sneeze at either.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it is pricey. I mean, a normal spender cost of 4 power.
But 4 power for a guaranteed stagger, that's really good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, ignore Black Cat existence in this game. But 4 power for a guaranteed stagger is amazing. And then for potential to activate them, that's really, really strong.
Yeah. Right. Let's take a look at his leadership now. It's called the Judgment of the Vishanti. Once per turn, so this changed, by the way. This is like one of his big changes. Once per turn, after an attack made by an allied character is resolved, if that attack dealt damage, or if the target character has 5 or more threat, the attacking character may use this leadership ability. If they do so, the target character gains the Hex special condition. So essentially, it's saying if you're a big kaiju, you're getting hexed once per turn. Otherwise, you have to actually earn it by inflicting damage.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of this leadership?
So I definitely like the way the triggers are set up to make it more likely to happen. I think that's really cool and a nice new mechanic that they've added to the game we haven't seen before. Hex it's not the most game-breaking of the conditions, I think, but it is certainly aggravating over time because I guess part of it is because of the excitement of rolling a crit is, you get to roll another die and that could lead to more and more damage or hopefully getting a trigger or something. And all that gets nullified with Hex. So it does actually register, especially if the game is going on for some time. That's what I think
time is important here. So I actually disagree. I think that Hex is horrific into the right teams. And I say that as someone who just played against this with Weapon X. And I ran 7 wide, just nothing but murderers. And by round 3, every single one of them was hexed.
Yeah.
And in a drawn out fight, you just start losing because your opponent's getting all their crits explode and none of your crits are exploding. And it just feels really bad. Everyone feels so pillow-fisted.
Yes.
And also
the spike potential is off the table, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're just dealing kind of flat damage. And then when they're hitting you, you're not spiking on your defense dice.
Yeah.
So you're getting hit harder as well. Yeah. So I think it really went up in my estimations. I wasn't too into it until I saw that. And I think if I was playing like, my X-Men or if I was playing like a Web Warriors, I wouldn't care that much because I'm not really making attacks and doesn't attack me. But into teams that are there to hit you, this is crazy good. It's so good because, with those triggers, dealing damage or they're 5 threat or more, honestly, by round 3, the whole team's going to be hexed.
That's right. Yes.
So I think this is really powerful leadership if you take it into the right team. And I'm a big fan of like mono affiliations where you only really take like one leader you just take nine characters that fit around that. I actually think Defenders and this Defenders box are a great contender for a dual leader roster where you take Doctor Strange and Daredevil. You build for kind of both teams. They like similar characters, and then you just see what comes like from across you on the table. Imagine going into Midnight Suns with Immortal Hulk, and then you take Doctor Strange. Like, right, well, I'm gonna hex. Oh no, he's immune to. That's a bad example because Immortal Hulk is immune to hex. Oh, pretty sure he is. I could be wrong. But going into a team that are going to hit you really hard, and they have big killers, right? Yeah, there you go. He is immune to hex. That's really strong, really effective. But then if you're going into a team where you need to chase them and maybe you're not worried about them hitting you back so much, maybe Daredevil is the leader that you take. So I think it's interesting dual roster. I'm not really a fan of dual rosters most of the time.
Yeah, they definitely work entirely differently. So that's another fun thing about this box is if you buy it, you can play the game quite differently and keep things fresh with more or less the same purchases.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, he's got loads of superpowers. Active one is called Ashtur's Refuge, costs 3. This character, an allied one within 3, removes up to 3 damage and can only be used once per turn. That's fantastic. 3 for 3, beautiful.
Yeah, big.
And I had that happen to me. He was sat in the middle of the board and basically had all his characters on points around him within 3, including Namor. And he just kept healing them up as they got damaged. And it was terrible for me.
Yeah. Healing is very rare in this game. They don't put it in, and I think there's a good reason because it's a you're reversing the progress your opponent's making in the game, right? And they put it out very sparingly. Doctor Strange, this is the biggest heal you can do. 3 damage for 3 power, and also comes with Wong, who we'll cover next episode. Wong also has some healing. So yeah, if you like the idea of healing people, this is great. And we mentioned that Hex is good in a long form fight, right? So if you listen to our episodes that just came out, the Extract and Secure episodes, they'll talk about like when a game is going to run longer because there's less points on the board. That's when this stuff really comes into it. Because if you're hexing your opponent, we've mentioned why that's good, and then healing on top of that, like the fight lasts longer and you're just staying good.
Yeah,
it's really powerful.
Yep, exactly that. Then he's got a reactive one called Hogoth's Hoary Wisdom. It is 2 power. And when this character or an allied one within 3 is targeted by an attack or would make a dodge roll, you can use the superpower and the character adds 2 dice to the defense or dodge roll. So, again, helping him out. He's a support character, clearly. Although he's a support and control character, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good way to support your team, right? To activate the enemy. Scary model.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. But now, people will say that this is kind of like, I would say like a neutral type of superpower. 2 power for 2 extra dice is okay, but not like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think that. Now, I play a lot of Cable who does this as well, right? Similar, it might be identical actually.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And now that works a lot better. So I do it, in X-Force and X-Men where I'm like, oh, this isn't very good because, I'm still not blocking anything. But when you see it happening in Avengers and you're using it on Steve 1, Captain America, who counts blanks, using it on other characters that count blanks, it's way more effective. So actually, Doctor Strange adding extra dice to, say, Daredevil, who counts blanks, it's way more effective because they're better quality dice.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good point. I like that. Yeah.
So yeah, anyone that counts blanks, having dice added, or even like, weird characters like Domino who can turn skulls to crits, having extra dice added because they have higher quality dice, it makes this superpower better.
Right. He's got an innate superpower called Eye of Agamotto. This character modify and reroll skull results. That's nice. And when this character is attacking, defending, or dodging, it may reroll all of its dice, which is, a classic aspect of his character. We've seen this before. In fact, he can roll all the skulls. It's just so great. If you get a sad roll for whatever reason, you just pick them. Now, remember, you have to pick all of them up. You can't pick which ones you want to reroll. You roll, but you get to pick up the skulls too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the most popular cards in the game, Recalibration Matrix, right?
Right.
This is a better version of that, kind of, because you get to, with full knowledge, you get to reroll your entire roll, including skulls. You basically just get to try again. And I've seen people do this to fish for triggers on Crimson Band of Cyttorak, or just for more results, better results, or they're fishing for a shield so they get more power to be able to do something they want. So it's super flexible and really cool. And it's on dodges now. I think that's changed. I think I added that.
Okay.
So now I could be wrong, but it's on dodging as well. So yeah, imagine if this was on Interact as well. Oh my God. Maybe it's a full house. Yeah, that's really good. This is going to come up a lot. And yeah, obviously, as Norbert said, remember, you are re-rolling everything. You don't get to choose.
And you're right. You can the reroll dodge dice is a new aspect in its latest thing here, according to the handy updates and errata section of Jarvis's protocol. Yay, Jarvis's. Okay. He gets flight, which is not surprising. But now let's talk about the other interesting aspect of his last innate superpower, which is he's a gem bearer. He can take either the soul gem or the time gem. So to remind people, soul gem is something that you pay 1 power. It's worth 1 threat, rather. So he's going to go up to a 6th threat. And the ability that comes with it is when an enemy character within 4 of this character uses a active or reactive superpower, this character gains 1 power after the effect is resolved. The time one says it's also worth 1 threat, but you pay 2 power to play it, and it's a reactive superpower. And when this character is attacking, before they calculate success or failure step at the end of the modified dice step of the attack, you can use the superpower. The attacking and defending characters reroll all of their attack and defense dice, including skull results. So it's a recal, basically, except that you get to roll skulls as well. Yeah.
So I think that mechanically, I think time isn't needed on a character that already can kind of recal his own dice. Having another one for that by paying an additional threat is probably not needed. I think the only reason it's on the card is because thematically he has the time gem. That's the only reason it's there. There's not much mechanics you get out of that. Soul, what do you think about Soul?
I never see him to be wanting for power, to be honest with you. So
as long as he keeps rolling shields, and Bolt of Bedevilment is a good attack to do because of the push. So you don't mind just constantly doing that, and you're generating power.
Yeah. So, and I haven't seen him on the table with these gems yet since the rework. I've seen him a few times though. On his own, and he's working great. So I wouldn't be an advocate of adding these gems, to be honest.
No, you definitely never add 2 gems, by the way.
Unless you're Thanos, but yeah.
No, sorry, on Doctor Strange, I mean, I don't know why. I think it's just been, the hive mind of MCP has decided you never add 2 gems to
isn't it a rule? Isn't it a rule?
Oh, really?
I thought you can only, unless Thanos has that special breaks it, but I'm pretty sure you can only have 1 gem. Yeah.
My bad. There you go. That's why the hive mind has decided, because them's the rules. But yes, so I think you only really want to consider Soul Gem here, but if you're a new player and you're trying out Doctor Strange for the first time, the last thing you want to do is add another superpower to a character already covered in superpowers. So I would recommend, if you're new to Defenders or Doctor Strange, just leave the gems behind for now. Do the gems come in this box? Do you even get the gems?
They do. You certainly do. There they are.
That's cool. I like that. That's cool. So you might be tempted. Someone put time on and tell me I'm wrong about that.
It'd be cool to see that. Yeah. All right. Shall we move into the tactics cards that are connected to either Defenders or these characters specifically?
Yes. Although we didn't talk about, I don't think it matters too much, but we didn't talk about what characters work under Strange leadership.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
But to be fair, I don't think it's much different to Daredevil, because Strange he's there to fight big scary monsters that are coming at you, because he's going to be hexing them and pushing them away and healing your characters. So I think characters that count blanks, they benefit from the extra dice he gives out. Characters that can take a beating, they benefit from the healing massively. So like imagine a Luke Cage here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot to hurt Luke Cage, and if Strange is just going to heal him up anyway, like that's horrific. So I think you want people that are ready for a long drawn out brawl for Doctor Strange, because his leadership gets better the longer the game goes on. And then for Daredevil, you want people that are like, I think they want to jump in and hit really hard. So like charge models, and Spider-Man can web swing in, maybe Namor, Shang-Chi can charge. You want those models. That's kind of I think that's my take on the 2 leaderships.
With that in mind, then which do you end up like choosing? Like, is it like, how do you decide which one to go with? Is it just which one your playstyle you prefer?
Well, I think going into X-Men, right? If I'm playing X-Men, when I go super wide with X-Men, right? So I'm going as wide as possible, loads of 3s and 2 threats. If I go into Daredevil Defenders, I'm terrified because you're getting more rerolls because there's loads of bodies on the table. Mm-hmm. And when I'm playing a team like X-Men or like Web Warriors, you need to kill me quick. I'm running away with points. You need to like take people out. I think Daredevil's leadership helps a bit more with that, because Daredevil characters are helping more with that, because you're jumping in, you're chasing people, you're not letting them get away, you're hitting them really hard. Whereas Doctor Strange, like if you cover a crisis team like X-Men or Webs, if you cover them in Hex, they don't really care that much because they're not attacking that often anyway. Most of the time they're moving twice and throwing someone off a point. So I don't think Strange works into that, but Strange would work into another team that's ready for a fight. So that's my take. I mean, I'm no Defenders expert, so I don't know, but I think this is a good contender for a list where you would take 2 leaders, and you have to judge, are these guys going to hit you really hard? Maybe I take lots of Hex stuff,
I think that's a great assessment, actually. So somewhat playstyle, but it's definitely a brawling type of affiliation, and it's really fun, actually, and does things in an interesting way. It's not just hit hard, have lots of hit points kind of a faction.
Yeah, for sure. It's also quite nice, by the way, to have an affiliation where both leaderships, I think, are as powerful as each other.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't say one's better than the other.
No, definitely not. And a lot of affiliations, unfortunately, have like one leadership that's fantastic and a few others that are fine. Yeah. But this is like, they're both great. They're both as good as each other. No one would think less of you for taking either of these leaders. So take whoever you want and whatever playstyle matches you, and go for it.
I think the one temptation is Doctor Strange is, because of his abilities, you want to take a kaiju with you, like a Hulk or Namor. But he's already 5 threats, and so the kaijus are also a lot of threats, and so you're going to go run quite narrow. And so you have to be more careful about how you're using those actions to maximize the potential of the team.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in today's crisis setup. Like, I think the days of going 3 characters wide are probably over. I don't see that being that effective these days. So yeah, a 5 threat leader is quite a tax, and you need to be okay with taking up cheaper characters with them.
Yeah. Should we get into the tactics cards now?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Let's do it. First one's called Cover Me. It's a defender's card. It's reactive. During the power phase, an allied defender's character can spend 4 power to play the card. Then, this round, after an attack targeting this character is resolved, another allied character may make an attack targeting the attacking enemy character. So basically, you're helping preserve one character. In a sense, actually, you're not preserving them so much as that you're punishing people to attack them.
Yeah, I think this is probably best seen as you're trying to persuade your opponent to not attack someone, right?
Yeah, yes.
Because it's the character that plays it.
Yeah, that's the one who's protected.
Yeah, so the character you want to keep alive pays 4, and then you're basically saying to your opponent, look, if you want to hit him, you can, but you're going to get hit back.
Yeah. And I think that's very much in line with the affiliation. Super cool idea. Is it worth 4 power? It really depends. If you're on a clustered scenario, which isn't that common these days, maybe it's good. You know what I mean? Because you want to be able to have enough of your friends around to be able to attack the attacking character.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think it also depends. It's quite like a roster-wide question, right? Because it's like, do you have someone that can spend that power that wants to stay alive? Maybe. Do you have characters that when they make those attacks, they're influential? Like, imagine a Doctor Strange attacking you in retaliation during your turn, and then he does a damage and pushes you. Yep. Like, it could disrupt the whole turn, right? So that's quite cool. Daredevil could baton hook you, and you're pushed towards him all of a sudden, and this also synergizes well with the Daredevil leadership because it's during your opponent's turn, so those attacks will have rerolls associated to them.
I feel like if this is like a weak character has scooped up 3 cubes or 3 hammers, and it's like, just holding on to them and protecting them this way would be really fun card.
For sure. The artwork, by the way, is really cool.
Is it great? I was just looking at it. It's so cool.
Is that Hulk? Who's getting covered there? Is that Hulk covering Iron Fist? Or?
No, I would say Iron Fist is protecting Hulk because Hulk's busy throwing that huge piece of concrete. Yeah.
What's fun with that as well is Iron Fist, if he's the one making the attack like this picture would suggest, he could then place off the enemy. Because he does this flying kick attack, which is cool. So I think this opens up loads of interesting questions, and we can't really cover it here, right? Because it's all dependent on which characters you're playing.
Could it also be the Iron Fist that he could be using? Could
it be any attack?
Any attack doesn't have to be 0.
Oh my god! You can activate someone in the middle of their turn. That's cool. Come back to part 2 to find out what the Iron Fist does. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think this is a great card. It's an awesome card. I don't know. It's very situational, but I think there'll be some times where it's just amazing.
Right, on to the next defender's card. It's called Mystic Ward. An allied defender's character can spend 2 power to play the card. Choose an objective token within 3 of the character that played the card and place a Mystic Ward token on it. The marked objective token cannot be interacted with, contested, or controlled this round. If a player is currently controlling the objective token, they are no longer controlling it, and then you remove it in the next power phase. I can't tell you how many times I've went through a lot of trouble to preserve a secure or, scoop up 3 cubes or whatever, and then they just say 2 power, boop, and none of that matters.
Yeah. I hate this card because it's the ultimate, like, if do you ever have this? I don't know if this is an American field crossover, but I'm taking my ball and going home. That's what this card feels like.
Yeah,
like, listen, we've all had fun playing MCP, but I didn't win that secure I thought I was going to win, so I'm just going to play Mystic Ward, and now no one gets to score it, and it's just really annoying, especially at the end of a round when, like you say, you think you've done the work to get that point, and you've played the rest of your points based on the fact that you've scored that secure, and you just don't. This card's incredible. I think you should take it. Basically, every game, it's really important.
Okay, any guesses on who the enemy is that the defenders are attacking on the card art?
I think that's Blackheart.
Blackheart, okay.
Which is Mephisto's son?
Oh.
I think.
Ooh.
Blackheart Marvel. Yeah, I think that's I'm very sure that's Blackheart. Could be wrong.
In the game yet?
Not in the game yet, no. I mean, I'm looking. Blackheart does have a tail. Yeah, not in the game yet. But the rest of them are, right? It's Clea, Wong, and Ancient One fighting in.
Yep.
So we do have a Legion of the Lost affiliation now. Maybe we'll get a Blackheart affiliated character. That'd be cool.
All right. Next up, we have one of the coolest cards in the game, and actually one that you can use a lot more nowadays, which is called Pentagram of Farala.
If anyone's played Marvel Rivals, by the way, this is in that game. You'll hear Dr. Strange go, Pentagram of Farala, and it's a giant portal that everyone can jump through. And now I've seen that in the video game, I'm like, oh my God, that's what happens in MCP. That's what's happening. That's really cool.
So what is this? Well, Doctor Strange or Wong can use it, so we'll come back to that next episode. And they spend 3 power to play the card. Not both of them, one or the other. Then you place a Mystic Portal token within one of the characters that played the card, and then you place the other one within 5 of the same character. And then at any time during character's activation, while within one of a Mystic Portal, it can spend 1 power once per turn to be placed within one of another Mystic Portal. Now, why another is important here is because if for some reason, which has happened before, that there are 2 of these on the table, right? If you're playing both players are playing Doctor Strange or Wong and use this card, you can have both of these set up, and it doesn't mean that you have to go to the other one that you set up. You could go to one of theirs if you wanted to.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. That's a really cool edge case. I love that. That seems like a really fun game, by the way. Like two pentagrams being played. There's 4 portals, right?
Yeah.
You just turn the game into intrusions, and everyone's just popping through portals. Another
important thing to notice about this portal, unlike most of the other type of placing effects like this, is that you don't drop your extracts when you go through it.
Oh yeah, that's strong.
Which is really strong. Yeah,
that's real cool.
So the fun side of this card is that people will send a character with charge up to attack the opponent that's near one of these portals, and then they will portal themselves back after they do their 2 attacks or whatever. So it is only helpful with characters that can charge, right? Because you can only use the portal once. So you can either use it to get into place and then run away if you have hit and run, let's say, or you can charge into the attack and then use it to kind of get yourself back to safety. The problem is about this card is it is tricky to decide when and where to place it. Have you played against it, Jamie?
Yeah, I've played against it once with someone who was learning how to do it.
Okay.
It was tricky to place in the right area. There are going to be whole podcast episodes elsewhere that talk about how to use this. It's called Portal Defenders, if you want to have a look. There was a guy called Eric Wong who I think went on something silly like 50 wins and 1 loss using that strategy. And there's basically really sneaky stuff you can do where you can place the portal in a way so that, there's some terrain in the way, and then you have 2 or 3 characters stood around it. They can charge in, like you said, attack someone, portal back to where they were, and then you can block the portal. So if another character can't place within one of the other portal, they can't use it.
Yeah.
So there's some sneaky strats you can do there basically, where you're just hammering your opponent and escaping to safety. Pretty scary. I'm yet to see it, on the table, but I know it's super effective.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's not a stapled card, but if you like a challenge and try to do things tricksy, this is definitely a fun one to use. Keep in mind your opponent, though, can use this portal as well. So if they get to it, they can portal themselves to where the other side of the portal is. So it isn't a slam dunk kind of just for you it's thing. You do have to think about it quite carefully, but often can be quite devastating.
Yeah, for sure. The person who used it against me was our local Defenders player, Ollie. And it was against my Sentinels, and the Sentinels loved being able to portal across the map because they can usually not move very far.
Ooh, yeah.
So they were using the portal and then just shooting guns, and then that was quite good. So be careful of that. I think that card is probably, you need practice games all based around that card on its own, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. Okay, then we come to 7 Sons of Cinnabus. This is a unaffiliated card for Doctor Strange. It does cost an action to use. And when he is activating and there are 2 other non-dazed allied characters within 2 of him, he can spend 3 to play this card, and he makes the attack above. So it's not quite a free attack because, as I said, it takes an action. So it's just replacing one of his attacks, that activation. What is this attack? It's an energy attack. It's beam 5. 8 dice, doesn't cost anything. And after each attack is resolved, if that attack dealt damage, the target character gains Incinerate. This is tricky. The conditions for it are quite strict, so hard to achieve, but it is a really cool attack. I don't know.
It's pretty cool. Like you say, the conditions to get it off are quite hard, and Strange doesn't really have ways of placing himself around or, getting anywhere. So you might have to move to get into position for this. And then you just do a big beam 5. That's another black heart in the artwork.
Another black heart on the artwork. Look at that.
Yeah,
what's going on, AMG? What's happening?
Is that a sign that they're coming, maybe?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, beam 5, 8 dice. I'm cringing inside a little bit because it's basically Phoenix's attack. And that might, it's just a fistful of dice and might not go very well. At least it's with Strange though, right? And he has his Eye of Agamotto, so he can re-roll it. So it's actually pretty potent. And if it does damage given out Incinerate, it's pretty great. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you're a fan of massive beams, and some people are, right? Some people just love a beam attack and area attacks. I think if you like that, take this card. Otherwise, it's probably a bit too tricky. And also, Strange can do so much with all of his power. He's fine without this.
Yes, good point. Yeah. That's a good point. He puts out enough damage as it is, so maybe it's okay.
And it's 3 power he can spend on, healing people.
Yeah.
Giving out dice, activating people. So, yeah.
Right. Next card is another Defenders card called Street Smarts. It's reactive. During the power phase, any number of allied Defenders characters can spend a power to play it. And this round, while a character that played this card is holding or contesting an objective token, if it would be pushed, advanced, or thrown, it may suffer 1 damage. And if it does, it isn't pushed, advanced, or thrown. This card is fantastic. I love this card.
Have you played this much?
Yeah. No, I haven't played it, but I played against it, and it's really annoying. It's really annoying. Because everything except for places can be thwarted by this. Sure, they take damage, but if you're playing Doctor Strange, you can heal some of that damage up.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't cost much to play it. I mean, it feels like Stalwart Determination for A-Force, which is a pretty big part of their kit.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is great. I also like the theme of it, right? Is that these guys they're on the streets defending them, and they're going to stand their ground no matter what, even if it hurts them, right? And that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool theme. Is that Misty Knight in the artwork?
Is that the lady in the back with the afro?
Misty Knight. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that's cool. That's Misty Knight. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Is that Silver Sable on the left?
I think that's Silver Sable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And they're defending someone.
Yeah, that's you.
Probably you. That's me. That's me.
That's you, Jamie.
My little beanie. How big does this podcast have to get for AMG to put us in a tactics card?
That's a good goal. Come on,
There's
Patreons. Write letters.
Yeah, I used to get Patrick Brown in and be like, "Hey man, come on! I've been shouting you out. You're my favorite artist in MCP. Come on, put me in the background."
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
I want to be a little like mutant kid, stood behind someone protecting me. That'd be cool. But yeah, anyway, Street Smarts. Yeah, it's great. I think this might be. I mean, maybe I'm overhyping this a bit, but this feels like their kind of Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, in a sense.
Everyone pays 1, which is basically nothing, and then for a round they just basically can't be moved. I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it does cause the damage, so you have to be careful about it, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, last card is Vapors of Valtor. This is an unaffiliated active card for Doctor Strange. If there are 2 other non-dazed allied characters within 2 of Doctor Strange, he can spend 3 power to play this card. So same sort of conditions as that Seven Sons card. Then you could choose a character within 3 of Doctor Strange. The chosen character gains 3 Obscuring Mist tokens. Each time the chosen character is targeted by an attack, shuffle the tokens and reveal 1 at random. If the token has a blank on the back, Doctor Strange may reroll any number of the attacker's dice. If it has a silhouette, the attack continues as normal. At the end of the round, remove all mist tokens from the chosen character. This is one of those fun, it's very flavorful, fluffy, but you've got all those conditions at the top to do. You have to spend 3. The enemy character has to be with.
What is it with these cards? Why does Doctor Strange need to have people around him to cast magic?
I don't know.
What's up with that? He can cast magic all by himself.
Maybe he's got confidence issues and he needs friends.
Maybe, he just needs friends around him. Yeah, odd. And then for those conditions, for those parameters, you'd expect maybe a stronger effect.
Yeah, especially because it's a random effect, and which is.
What are the tokens? Do we know the tokens? If you scroll down, can you see?
You see the pictures?
Because we don't really know how good this is until we can see the tokens.
He doesn't have them there. He usually does. I'll look for them while you discuss the character.
Okay. I mean, really cool effect. It reminds me of Mirror Image in D&D. If anyone knows that, it's kind of like there's a chance. You know that spell. Was that
I
back
do
in,
remember.
like,
Oh yeah, that's an OG one for sure.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, basically, there's a chance that your opponent is hitting the wrong character, basically, and then it's actually not going to do much. So yeah, I mean, you are just re-rolling the attacker's dice, but that's pretty cool. It can protect someone from a trigger. Say you've got a size 4 in your team and you don't want Hulk to throw him, then this will help. Try and avoid that wild. So yeah, so we're seeing the obscuring mist token.
Yeah,
it looks like there's 2.
Yeah, well, you get 3 of them, but 2 are the blank ones on the right, and 1 is the one with the silhouette in it. Yeah,
cool. So there's a 1 in 3 chance. So after hitting all those parameters, being within 2 of Dave's characters, spending 3, and attack discard, there's a 1 in 3 chance that you can re-roll the attacker's dice, and that might not even come, to fruition. So yeah, this is a lot of hoops to jump through, but kudos if you play this card because it's very cool and thematic, and I love it. Yeah. I love the idea of Strange just having a bunch of like spells, in front of him, and they all do wacky stuff, and yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah. So so far, I would say this box is a slam dunk. If you have any interest at all in playing Broly factions, or you like any of these leaders, it won't disappoint. The characters are great. There's a load of cards here the tactics cards that are really fantastic, it's just like win-win. I think this box is doing great so far.
I completely agree. Yeah, I agree. I think, again, if you're into Defenders, this is where you want to start, for sure.
Absolutely. All right. If you wanted to actually try these out at a team tournament sometime, let's say in January, where would be a good place to do that?
I don't know. Maybe a little place known as the Across the Bifrost Team Championship.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Tell me more.
In January, what is it? 10th, 11th? Hang on a minute.
11th,
yeah, is that right? Oh, God.
11 or 12, maybe?
No, 10, 11. Okay. January 10th and 11th in London, which is when all the hotels are cheapest because people are not going to London because it's just been Christmas. So it's surprisingly affordable. There is a 5-person team tournament happening. We're currently running low on spaces, but we're going to have a waiting list because I've told Norbert that I want to double the space that we take up. Yeah. So there's going to be space, hopefully, for everyone. So yes, it's a 5-person team tournament. It is the best way to play MCP, in our opinion. You team up with 4 other buddies, and you can't share any characters across the team, but you can share team tactics cards and crisis cards. And you go and play a bunch of other teams. And basically it means that if you lose your game, your team might still win more games than they lost in that round, and you go through to the next round. And that's really cool.
Yeah. So far, we've got a Dutch team signed up. We've got 2 Irish teams. We've got 2 teams from the north. There's one from Stafford and one from Yorkshire coming down.
That impresses me more than any of the Europeans coming in. The north are coming down, everyone.
Yeah. Swedish team is coming back. I'm going to suspect the Belgian team is going to come eventually. I got to talk to those guys because they're big supporters. In fact, they messaged us about the timing of the event, so I think they're definitely going to send a team.
They're in.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, loads of different variety of players going to be there, and so something not to miss. So you can go on Longshanks and look up Across the Bifrost Team Championship, and you can find a button to the rules pack on that homepage there, or you can go to the ATB Team Championship channel in our Discord, where you can go to the pin, and the pin will have a direct link to the rules pack.
There you go. Boom. Do it. Best way to play MCP. Come do it.
All right, and where's the best place to talk about MCP?
Oh, the single best place to talk about MCP?
Yeah.
Well, AMG recently closed down their Discord, so that makes it us. The Across the Bifrost Discord is now the best place to come talk about MCP. We have channels per affiliation. Whoever came up with that genius idea deserves a raise. So you can come talk about the affiliations you're trying out. Come talk to us about Defenders. Come and find out. Who, maybe there is a better leader out of the two, and me and Norbert are stupid and don't realize. So yeah, come chat to us there. And also we have a Patreon, which there's a link somewhere around the internet which you can join. It's only a handful of pounds, and it basically gets you early access to a bunch of episodes, including ones where we interview people that have won events and done really well. So you can find out what they did and get top tips and stuff. It's where most of our Pat Dunford episodes go because he is always winning events and he's really good at explaining how he did it. Yeah. So
Yeah, Patreons have been awesome. We've been getting a lot of people signing up and contributing. They have their own channel now on the Discord. so you can talk to other patrons and
A direct line to talk smack at us.
yeah. And you get those special episodes. So it only costs, well, if you're a subscriber, you get it for £3 a month. So that me, Jamie, and Hannah all get a little piece of that pie.
£1 each.
I think Hannah's she's cracking the whip. I think she's instituting a slightly higher price if you pay per episode rather than being a subscriber. So you can actually just buy individual episodes. If you only really care about what Pat has to say about Apocalypse, you can just pay for an episode and then not subscribe. That's fine too. But it'll cost you a few more pennies.
A few more shillings.
A few more shekels.
Shekels, yeah.
A few more, what else? Coat pans.
Dollary dues.
All right, Jamie, anything else to say?
No, man, I'm done. Let's get on to part 2.
Okay, part 2. Until next time then, cheers and happy gaming.